The forest's secret. Jonathan Hayes had always been drawn to places others avoided. There's magic in solitude, he often told his skeptical friends who preferred city comforts to wilderness exploration. The ancient forest of Blackwood was his latest obsession. This place hasn't been properly mapped in decades, he muttered to himself as he pushed through dense underbrush on a misty autumn morning. His backpack contained only essentials, water compass notebook, and his grandfather's strange, brass compass that never seemed to point north. Something pulled him deeper into the woods that day. A sensation he couldn't explain, like music just beyond hearing range. Just a bit further, he promised himself, though he'd already ventured miles, beyond his planned route. The air changed subtly, becoming charged with energy that made the hairs on his arms stand up. Jonathan paused, noticing how unnaturally quiet the forest had become. No birds, no insects, just the whisper of leaves in a wind he couldn't feel. That's when he saw it. Nestled between ancient, gnarled roots, a small object caught the filtered sunlight with an impossible purple glow. What on earth? Jonathan knelt, examining what appeared to be a crystalline orb, no larger than his palm, with intricate symbols etched across its surface. Against better judgment, he reached for it. The moment his fingers touched the cool surface, the orb pulsed, sending vibrations up his arm. Incredible, he whispered as the symbols began to rearrange themselves, glowing brighter. The forest around him seemed to bend and stretch, reality itself warping, as the orb floated from his palm and hovered at eye level. "Hello, Jonathan Hayes," came a voice like nothing he'd ever heard. Melodic and otherworldly. The air before him shimmered and coalesced into a figure that made his breath catch. A woman, no something beyond human, stood before him. Her skin glowed with a soft purple luminescence, like twilight given form. Her eyes contained galaxies deep and ancient. Her flowing garment seemed woven from starlight itself, moving with a grace that defied physics. "Who are you?" Jonathan managed his voice barely a whisper. "I am Seraphina, guardian of the cosmic veil, ruler of Celestia," she said, her voice somehow inside his mind and in the air simultaneously. "You have awakened the sphere of wishes, one of the 12 celestial keys scattered across your realm." Jonathan tried to process what he was seeing. "You're not human." A smile played across her lips. "I am what your kind might call a goddess, though that term barely captures the truth of my existence. I exist beyond the boundaries of your dimension, yet I am bound to certain cosmic laws." "Why are you here?" Jonathan asked, finding courage in his curiosity. "The sphere chose you." Jonathan Hayes. "Those who awaken a celestial key are granted 3 wishes. That is the ancient covenant between our realms." She moved closer, studying him with interest. "But know this. Wishes have consequences that ripple across dimensions. I am bound to grant what you ask, but even I cannot control all outcomes." Jonathan stood transfixed by her presence. 3 wishes, like in fairy tales. "Your stories hold fragments of forgotten truths," Seraphina replied, "though I suspect you'll find reality far more complex than your legends suggest." "What if I don't want to make any wishes?" he asked. Something like surprise crossed her ethereal features. "In all my centuries of granting wishes, I've never been asked that." For a moment she seemed more present, more real. "The choice is yours, but the sphere has awakened. It seeks balance. 3 wishes will be granted, whether by your voice or another's, should you relinquish this opportunity." Jonathan studied the glowing orb, then looked up at Seraphina. He saw something unexpected in her cosmic gaze. Loneliness. An immortal, being bound to cosmic duty, yet somehow isolated. "I should think carefully about this," he said finally. "Wisdom is rare among wishmakers," she replied with a nod. "I will remain tethered to you until all wishes are granted. Take your time, Jonathan Hayes. I have existed for millennia. A few moments more means little to me." Yet something in her voice suggested otherwise. As night fell over the forest, Jonathan realized his life had changed forever and the journey had only just begun. Soul Tether days passed while Jonathan contemplated his first wish. Seraphina remained nearby, sometimes visible, sometimes merely a presence, He could sense at the edge of his awareness he'd taken leave from his job as a botanical researcher, claiming a family emergency, while he grappled with the reality of an alien goddess in his life. "You've been quiet today," Serafina observed, appearing beside him as he sat on his cabin porch watching sunset paint the sky in hues that reminded him of her. The forest stretched before them, dark and mysterious. "I'm thinking about my first wish," Jonathan admitted. "The responsibility is overwhelming." Serafina tilted her head, her luminous purple form casting gentle light across the weathered wood. "Most humans immediately wish for wealth, power, or immortality. Your hesitation intrigues me." "Those things seem hollow," he replied. Studying her, "You've granted countless wishes throughout time, haven't you? What happens to the wishers? Some find fulfillment. Others discover that getting exactly what you want carries unexpected burdens." She moved closer, her form shifting like mist. "Few ever consider asking about me." Jonathan looked up, meeting her starlit gaze. "That's what I've been wondering about. You speak of cosmic laws and duties, but I sense something more. Something hidden." Serafina's light dimmed slightly, perceptive for a mortal. "You see more than most. Who are you really? Beyond the title and power? Do you feel loneliness, joy, fear?" His questions tumbled forth, born from days of observation. "You watch me with such curiosity, as if human emotions are fascinating to you." "I experience existence differently," she admitted. "Emotions as you understand them are echoes to me. Distant concepts I observe but cannot fully grasp. In my realm, I am revered, feared, obeyed, but never simply known." Jonathan stood, moving closer to her ethereal form, feeling the strange energy that surrounded her. "That sounds incredibly lonely." "Loneliness requires understanding connection. I have existed for eons, yet never truly connected to another being. My purpose is to maintain cosmic balance, not to form attachments." Despite her words, something vulnerable flickered across her expression. In that moment, Jonathan knew what his first wish would be. The realization came with absolute clarity. "I know what I want." Serafina straightened her form, becoming more defined, more present. "Speak your desire, Jonathan Hayes, and it shall be granted. I wish." He began, his voice steady despite his racing heart. "I wish for the ability to truly understand you, to feel what you feel, to create a connection between us that transcends the barriers of our different existences." Surprise transformed Serafina's features, followed by something like fear. "You would use your wish not for yourself, but to know me. This has never been asked before. The consequences could be unpredictable." "I'm certain," Jonathan replied. "If I'm going to make wishes that affect reality itself, I want to understand the being granting them." Serafina studied him for a long moment before raising her hands. A soft purple glow emanated from her fingertips. "Very well, Jonathan Hayes. Your first wish is granted." The world around them seemed to pause. The air crackled with energy as tendrils of light extended from Serafina, enveloping Jonathan. He gasped as warmth spread through his body, reaching toward his mind, his heart, his very consciousness. Jonathan fell to his knees, overwhelmed by sensations beyond human comprehension. He saw through Serafina's eyes, felt, with her ancient awareness, the vastness of space, the birth of stars, the weight of cosmic responsibility, the crushing isolation of existing beyond yet separate from all things, the curiosity and wonder at human emotion, the secret yearning for connection. Simultaneously, Serafina experienced existence through human perception, the intensity of physical sensation, the complexity of emotions layered and contradictory, the beauty of finite existence giving meaning to each moment, the deep human need for connection, understanding, love, their consciousness intertwined, creating something entirely new, something neither had experienced before. When Jonathan finally regained awareness of his surroundings, he found Serafina kneeling before him, tears like liquid starlight trailing down her cheeks. Her form had changed, becoming more solid, more present. Her purple skin now had texture, definition, warmth. "I feel you," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "I feel everything, your wonder, your fear, your compassion." She reached out, touching his face with fingers that now felt almost human, though still luminescent. "How do humans bear such intensity?" Jonathan took her hand in his, marveling at the connection. "And I sense you, your ancient knowledge, your power, but also your loneliness, your curiosity." He smiled gently. "Your beauty goes far beyond your appearance, Seraphina. It extends to the very essence of who you are. This connection," she said wonderingly. "It wasn't supposed to be possible. The barriers between our kinds exist for a reason." "Are you sorry I made this wish?" Jonathan asked suddenly, uncertain. Seraphina's eyes, now holding depths of emotion previously absent, met his no. "Though it defies cosmic law, I cannot regret this. I have existed for eons, yet only now do I feel truly alive." She leaned forward hesitantly, and Jonathan felt her wonder, her nervousness, her desire through their newfound bond. Their lips met in a kiss that transcended physical sensation, their connection deepening as boundaries between mortal and divine, cosmic and earthly, blurred further. When they parted, both were forever changed. The wish had created something unprecedented, something that would alter destinies across dimensions. "What happens now?" Jonathan asked, still holding her close. "I don't know." Seraphina admitted vulnerability in her voice. "For the first time in my existence, I cannot see the path ahead, but I wish to discover it with you." The soul tether between them pulsed with shared emotion as night fell around them, marking the beginning of something the universe had never witnessed before. Two worlds collide. Morning light filtered through the cabin windows, finding Jonathan and Seraphina sitting cross-legged facing each other, their hands linked. The soul tether between them hummed with energy as they explored their unprecedented connection. "Your emotions are so complex," Seraphina marveled, her voice soft with wonder. "They layer upon each other like cosmic nebulae, joy, intertwined with fear, excitement with uncertainty." Jonathan smiled, feeling her fascination through their bond. "Human existence is brief, so perhaps we feel everything more intensely." He reached out, brushing a strand of her starlit hair, which now appeared more substantial. "And you? Your emotions were always there, just experienced differently. Like distant echoes." She nodded. "Now they overwhelm me in the most beautiful way. I understand desire, longing, tenderness, concepts that were merely theoretical before." Their connection had transformed Seraphina physically. As if responding to her newfound emotions, her form had become more tangible. Her ethereal purple skin now covered a body that appeared almost human, though she still radiated subtle luminescence. Her eyes remained pools of cosmic light, but now expressed emotions Jonathan could read. "I should return to check on my realm," she said reluctantly. "Time flows differently there, but my absence will eventually be noticed." Jonathan felt a pang of anxiety through their bond. "Will you come back?" She leaned forward, pressing her forehead to his. "The tether ensures I will always find my way back to you." "But Jonathan, what we've created defies cosmic law. The Celestial Council will sense this anomaly. Is it dangerous, what we've done?" Seraphina's concern flowed through their connection. "The balance between realms requires separation. Your wish created something unprecedented. My duties as guardian demand objectivity. This connection compromises that." "Do you regret it?" he asked, voicing his deepest fear. She answered immediately, her emotions confirming her words. "Though it may bring consequences, I cannot regret experiencing this depth of feeling." She touched his face. "I only fear what it might mean for you." Before Jonathan could respond, Seraphina tensed, her eyes widening. Someone approaches. A knock at the cabin door startled them both. "Jonathan, you in there? It's Emma. Your sister. Remember her? The one you've been ignoring for days?" Panic flashed between them. "My sister," Jonathan whispered. "She has a key. I can't just—" Can alter my appearance, Serafina offered quickly. Not invisible, but less obviously non-human. In moments, her purple luminescence dimmed her starlit hair, darkening though her eyes remained unnaturally bright. Jonathan nodded gratefully as Emma's key turned in the lock. Seriously, John, you can't just disappear into the woods and… Emma stopped abruptly, spotting Serafina. Oh, I didn't realize you had company. Emma, this is Sarah. Jonathan improvised. We met while I was hiking. Emma's eyes narrowed, taking in Serafina's unusual beauty. Hiking? In those clothes? Jonathan felt Serafina's amusement through their bond as she extended her hand. It's lovely to meet Jonathan's sister. He's told me so much about you. Emma shook her hand, then froze, a strange expression crossing her face. Your hand, it's so warm. Good circulation, Serafina replied smoothly, though Jonathan felt her momentary alarm. The next hour passed in awkward conversation. Emma clearly suspicious of her brother's mysterious new friend, while Jonathan and Serafina communicated silently through their connection. So, Sarah, where are you from exactly? Emma asked, finally. A place very far from here. Serafina answered honestly. A small community most wouldn't know. And what do you do there? Jonathan felt Serafina's momentary confusion. I'm a guardian of sorts. I maintain balance and order. Like law enforcement? Emma pressed. Something like that. Serafina smiled enigmatically after Emma finally left. Promising to return soon, Jonathan collapsed on the sofa. That was close. She knows something's odd. Humans are more perceptive than my kind gives them credit for. Serafina observed, joining him. Your sister sensed my otherness, even through my disguise. Jonathan took her hand, feeling the warmth of her skin against his, still marveling at the physical changes their connection had wrought. This is impossible, isn't it? Us? A human and a cosmic being? By all cosmic laws, yes. She shifted, closer, her body fitting perfectly against his, yet here we are. Their lips met hesitantly at first, then with growing passion, the soul tether between them amplified every sensation, creating feedback loops of pleasure and wonder. Jonathan felt her, experiencing physical desire for the first time, her amazement at each new sensation. Her hands explored his body with reverent curiosity, while he traced the constellations that seemed to shimmer beneath her skin. I never imagined, she whispered, against his neck, that physical connection could mirror cosmic union. They moved together, learning each other's bodies as their souls intertwined, boundaries blurring further as Jonathan showed her human passion while experiencing something beyond mortal understanding. Afterward, they lay together, their heartbeats synchronizing. I feel your realm calling you, Jonathan murmured, sensing her divided attention. Serafina sighed. The veil thins. I must return soon to maintain balance, but I will come back to you. What happens when the Celestial Council discovers what we've done? I don't know, she admitted. This connection defies their understanding. Their fear of chaos may lead them to try severing our bond. Jonathan's arms tightened around her. Could they do that? Perhaps with significant power. But the wish has fundamentally changed us both. I believe our connection would persist in some form. Later, as Serafina prepared to return to her realm, she held Jonathan's face between her hands. I will return in 3 of your days. During my absence, explore our connection. Feel for me across the dimensions. I'll miss you, he said simply. She smiled, her eyes reflecting starlight. I carry part of your soul with me as you carry mine. Distance cannot truly separate us now. Jonathan watched as she transformed back to her fully divine form, her body becoming pure energy. Be careful, he whispered. Too late for caution, she replied with unexpected humor. We crossed that threshold, with your wish. In a flash of purple light, she vanished, leaving Jonathan alone, yet not truly alone. The tether between them stretched across dimensions. A human and a goddess connected in defiance of cosmic law. In the silence of the cabin, Jonathan closed his eyes, focusing on the bond. feeling Seraphina's journey across realities, her wonder, her fear, her love. Somewhere in the cosmos, he sensed other presences becoming aware of their forbidden connection. The consequences of his first wish were only beginning to unfold. Cosmic interference. 3 days stretched into 5, then 7 with no sign of Seraphina. Jonathan paced his cabin, anxiety gnawing at him. Through their soul tether, he sensed her distress. Though distance muted the details, something was preventing her return on the 8th night. He sat before the crystalline orb which pulsed weakly on his table. "Please," he whispered, "show me what's happening." The orb flared, suddenly brilliant light filling the room. Images flashed in his mind. Seraphina standing before a council of luminous beings, their forms barely comprehensible to human perception. Her voice echoed in his consciousness. The connection was his wish, I was bound to grant it. Another voice, thunderous with authority, responded, "You allowed emotion to compromise cosmic law, guardian. The balance between realms is threatened." Jonathan felt rather than saw Seraphina's defiance. Perhaps your understanding of balance is flawed. Perhaps connection between realms strengthens the cosmic fabric. "Your judgment is corrupted by human emotion," came the cold reply. "You are confined to the celestial citadel until this aberration can be corrected." The vision faded, leaving Jonathan shaking. The soul tether pulsed with Seraphina's frustration, and beneath it something stronger, her determination. A sudden knock at his door jolted him from concentration. Emma again, persistent, worried. "You look terrible," she said, pushing past him into the cabin. "Where's your mysterious girlfriend?" "She had to return home," Jonathan answered carefully. Emma studied him. "Something's different about you, John. Ever since you came back from that expedition, something changed." Before he could respond, a violent tremor shook the cabin. Books tumbled from shelves, windows rattled in their frames. Outside, the night sky flared with impossible auroras, purple and gold streaking across the darkness. "What the hell?" Emma gasped. Jonathan knew instantly. "They're trying to break our connection." The pain hit, then searing through his mind as cosmic forces attempted to sever the soul tether. He dropped to his knees, clutching his head. "John!" Emma knelt beside him, panicking. "What's happening? Should I call an ambulance?" "No," he managed. "It's Seraphina they're trying to take." "Her? Who's trying to take who? You're not making sense." Another tremor, more intense than the first. The cabin walls seemed to bend, reality itself. Warping around them, the air crackled with energy. Through the pain, Jonathan focused on the tether, refusing to let go, pouring all his strength into maintaining their connection. Across dimensions, he felt Seraphina doing the same. The bond between them strained but held. Suddenly, the pressure vanished. Jonathan gasped for breath as normalcy returned, the cabin settling back into ordinary reality. "Jonathan Hayes." Emma's voice was deadly calm. "You're going to tell me exactly what's going on right now." He looked up at his sister, seeing her fear, her concern. Through the ordeal, the soul tether had strengthened. Rather than breaking under cosmic pressure, it had grown more resilient. Jonathan could sense Seraphina more clearly than ever. "She's coming," he whispered, feeling her approach. "And she's not alone." The air before them shimmered, tore open a portal of swirling purple energy formed in the center of the cabin. Seraphina stepped through, her divine form, fully manifested, glorious and terrible. Her eyes blazed with power. "Jonathan," she breathed, reaching for him. "I escaped, but they follow behind." The portal pulsed ominously. Dark shapes gathered just beyond the threshold. "Oh my God," Emma whispered, backing away. "She's purple. She's actually purple." Seraphina turned to Jonathan, urgency in her voice. "The council has declared our bond forbidden. They will not stop until it's broken. We must make a choice." "What choice?" he asked, taking her hands, feeling their connection singing between them. "Your second wish. Seraphina said gravely. Choose carefully, beloved. The fate of both our worlds may depend on it. Beyond the stars, the portal behind Seraphina pulsed violently, shadows gathering as the Celestial Council prepared to breach the dimensional gateway. Emma stood frozen, her reality shattering before her eyes, while Jonathan and Seraphina faced each other, hands clasped, tether blazing between them. They cannot physically enter your realm without invitation, Seraphina explained quickly. But their power reaches across dimensions. They will tear apart this forest, this continent to sever our bond. Why? Jonathan asked, feeling her urgency through their connection. Why does our love threaten them so much? Because it proves them wrong. Seraphina's eyes flashed cosmic fire. For eons, they've maintained that separation between realms is necessary for cosmic balance. Our connection demonstrates otherwise, and that threatens the foundation of their power. Emma finally found her voice. John, what is happening? Who is she? Jonathan turned to his sister. Emma, this is Seraphina. She's not human. She's a cosmic being, a guardian of universal balance, and somehow, his voice softened. We fell in love. That's impossible, Emma whispered. No more impossible than the portal in your living room. Seraphina replied with unexpected gentleness. Your brother's first wish created a bond between us that defies cosmic law. The cabin trembled, energy crackling around them as invisible forces pressed against reality itself. Seraphina winced. They're attempting to destabilize the dimensional boundary. Jonathan, you must make your second wish now. Tell me what to wish for, he pleaded. I don't want to make things worse. I cannot guide your choice that violates the covenant. Pain flashed across her features as another assault battered their connection. But know that whatever you decide, I trust you. Jonathan closed his eyes, focusing on their bond, feeling her essence intertwined with his. Her knowledge, her power, her love. The answer came to him suddenly, clear and inevitable. I wish, he began, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. I wish for the knowledge and ability to create a new realm, a sanctuary between worlds where beings from different dimensions can exist together in harmony, without disrupting cosmic balance. Seraphina's eyes widened, shock and wonder flowing through their connection. Jonathan, do you understand what you're asking? Creating a realm requires cosmic knowledge beyond mortal comprehension. I trust our connection, he replied simply. Together we can build something new, something better. Seraphina's form began to glow brighter. Your second wish is granted. Knowledge flooded Jonathan's mind. Universal constants, dimensional physics, the architecture of reality itself. His consciousness expanded, beyond human limits, yet remained anchored by his humanity. He gasped as understanding beyond mortal capability integrated with his being. I know how, he whispered, amazed. I know how to create a bridge between worlds. Emma stepped forward, finding courage despite her fear. John, whatever you're planning, I'm coming with you. You're my brother. Emma, this is bigger than us, he started, but she cut him off. Family stays together, even when one of them falls in love with a purple space goddess. Despite everything. Seraphina laughed, the sound like distant wind chimes. I like your sister, Jonathan. The portal behind them expanded, dark energies reaching through. Jonathan felt the knowledge from his wish guiding him. He raised his hands, mimicking Seraphina's gestures. Power flowed between them, purple and gold energies intertwining. We create a new path. They spoke in unison, their voices harmonizing across dimensions. Neither your realm nor mine, but something altogether new. The cabin dissolved around them, reality itself reshaping. Light exploded outward. Emma cried out, clinging to her brother as existence shifted. The pursuing entities from the Celestial Council howled in frustration as their quarry slipped between dimensions, following a path they could not track. When awareness returned, they stood upon an impossible landscape, a small island floating in a sea of stars. Mountains rose behind them, covered in vegetation that seemed both earthly and alien. The sky above held two suns, one golden, one purple, casting multicolored shadows across crystalline beaches. "Where are we?" Emma whispered, her voice trembling. "Everywhere and nowhere." Jonathan answered, feeling the new realm respond to his thoughts. A pocket dimension anchored between worlds, a sanctuary. Serafina moved beside him, her form shifting between human and divine, as if this place allowed her to be both simultaneously. "You've created something impossible, Jonathan. A realm that exists in the boundaries between dimensions. We created it," he corrected. "The wish gave me knowledge, but our connection gave it form." Emma turned slowly, taking in the impossible landscape. "It's beautiful. But can we go back? To Earth? This realm connects to all others," Serafina explained. "From here we can create doorways to any dimension, including Earth. You can return whenever you wish, Emma." "But you two can't," Emma realized. "The council would find you." Jonathan nodded. "Not permanently, but we can visit. We can build connections, bridges, between worlds." "Your third wish remains," Serafina said quietly. "You could use it to return everything to how it was before, to undo what we've done." Jonathan looked at her, feeling the depth of her love through their bond. Then he gazed around at the newborn realm shaped from their combined essence. "My third wish," he said finally. "I wish to share the knowledge of this sanctuary with others who seek harmony between realms, that this place might grow, become a haven for those who believe. Connection strengthens the universe rather than threatens it." Serafina's eyes widened. "You would make this bigger than us." "Isn't that what love does?" Jonathan asked, taking her hands. "It expands, it includes, it grows." "Your third wish is granted," Serafina whispered, tears like stardust trailing down her cheeks. The realm around them pulsed, responding to the wish. Doorways shimmered into existence along the shoreline, each leading to different worlds, different possibilities. "The council will not give up easily," Serafina cautioned. "They fear change. Then we'll show them a better way," Jonathan replied. "Not through conflict, but through example. We'll build something so beautiful, so harmonious, that even they cannot deny its value." Emma cleared her throat. "So I'm standing in a pocket dimension created by my brother and his alien goddess girlfriend, listening to them plan to revolutionize the cosmos." She shook her head, then surprisingly smiled. "Mom always said you'd do something extraordinary, John, though I doubt this is what she had in mind." Jonathan laughed, pulling his sister into an embrace. "You can go home, Emma, or stay and help us build something. Tells me we could use a practical human perspective. And miss whatever comes next." "Not a chance," Emma replied, her initial fear giving way to wonder as she gazed at the impossible landscaping. The days that followed, others found their way to the sanctuary. Beings from across dimensions, drawn by the harmony Jonathan and Serafina had created together. They built a community neither human nor divine, but something entirely new. At night, Jonathan and Serafina would stand at the edge of their creation, watching the cosmic tides, her purple form luminescent against the star-filled sky, their bond stronger than ever, transcending the physical. The wishes had changed everything, yet the greatest transformation had come from something no wish could create: the simple, profound miracle of love bridging worlds. "Do you ever regret it?" Jonathan asked one night as they watched new arrivals emerge from a freshly formed portal. "Giving up your position as guardian?" Serafina turned to him, her eyes reflecting the cosmos. "I haven't given it up, I've expanded it. The council defined guardianship as maintaining separation. I believe true balance comes from connection." She took his hand, their fingers intertwining. "You taught me that. And you taught me that some wishes," Jonathan replied, pulling her close, "are worth any consequence." Their lips met as the stars wheeled overhead. The first wish had changed everything. The second had created a sanctuary. The third had opened it to the universe. But the greatest magic existed in the space between wishes, in the connection that had defied cosmic law and created something beautiful from the simplest, most powerful force in any dimension: love that transcended worlds.